Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. We have a special preview today. Bohemians obviously take on PAOK on Thursday in Greece, and we have Angelo with us today, who's a huge PAOK supporter based in New York. How are you, Angelo?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing? Thank you for having me.
Brilliant stuff. Obviously, Daz is here as well. People will recognise Daz, so no need for an introduction for you, Daz.
How are we, lads?
So you have a YouTube channel and Instagram. Where do people go if they want to check that out, Angelo?
Yeah, so you go on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. We're PAOK Talk. PAOK TALK, one word. We preview mostly information about PAOK transfer rumors. Results, the games. We touch on Greek football a bit, but it's mainly geared to the PAOK team rather than there's other podcasts that do other teams in their nation. We just focus mainly on that.
Brilliant stuff, excellent stuff. Now, obviously, PAOK were beaten 2-1 in the first leg at the Aviva Stadium by Bohemians. What were your thoughts on the first leg from a PAOK point of view?
I mean, I think it was ugly. I think that we had a couple clear chances in the first 10 minutes or so that if we put away, I think it would have been a total different game. I think the fact that we didn't score within that first 20 to 25 minutes gave Bohemian a lot of confidence, I want to say. And I know you guys know, but it definitely changed. Their style of play changed. At first, they were kind of sitting back, absorbing the pressure. But I feel like after the first half of the first half, so the first 25 minutes or so, they switched their style and they were pressing very high up the pitch. That's something that, that PAOK has trouble a lot because our defenders are not the best with the ball at their feet. They tend to try to, just keep playing it back and forth. And that's something that Lucescu, the coach, wanted us to play that way. But the players we have, we can't do that. We're not tiki-taka style of play. But I definitely want to say, give credit to the Bohemian club. They were outworking us. They were faster than us. They controlled the midfield. So it was definitely not a great result for us. I know a lot of PAOK fans were angered. I know we're going to get into this later on about what my expectations were going into that first match, but I think it was a mix of, I don't know if they took them for granted, because in history, the last 4 years or so in Europe, PAOK has made many mistakes. We've lost to, I wrote them down, we've lost to Slovan Bratislava, Omonia, Bate, Vivi, Östersund in the last 4 years itself. So we tend to play down to competition. But then, yeah, I see your face. Then you have those games versus PSV where we win 4-1, right? And we look good. So it's all up in the air for that.
I suppose, Daz, that gives Bohemians a bit of hope then going into the second leg, maybe here in the first part of that section there.
That was very insightful. There was a lot of good information that you gave there about that. And look, that sums it up pretty well from PAOK's perspective against the Bohemian perspective. Everything you said there is completely true. Me and myself and Keith were at the match and we both fully agree. We did the preview and review shows for Bowls, and Keith did a match day vlog. We were at and we were at each other. We discussed that. Everything you said there is spot on and completely true. I suppose a question I would have for you, maybe about Bowls, is, being a PAOK fan yourself, what players are you aware of from Bowls who may hurt you, or who do you think was good off Bowls? I know they all were, but who do you think maybe your top 3 players from Bowls that you thought was good or who could potentially hurt PAOK?
The speed up top, Georgie Kelly, you have, he just looked extremely solid. 24-year-old, obviously one of the most famous players on the team, I guess you can say, or most well-known. Ross Tierney looked good. It's just, for me, it's the collective speed of the team. Every time there was a ball played over the top, I was nervous with our center backs. I felt like you guys had the edge on the wings and up top. All I know is that we're lucky we got that goal, because overcoming a 2-goal deficit in Dumba in Greece would be difficult. Yeah, I think it's possible, but the fact that we got that goal and made it 2-1, I think that's something that's going to help us going into the second leg.
As well as that, Angelo, there was a lot of anger, I think, in the Greek media, wasn't there, about this result? Certainly, Chescu was very angry. You would like to think, from a PAOK point of view, that look, they're going to be really up for this in the second leg, and I suppose put a few wrongs right. Also, I suppose the second part of the question is, there's going to be a lot of heat. I'd imagine it's going to be very warm in Greece. It's going to change the complexion for Bohemian as well, isn't it?
Yeah, we definitely have the advantage playing at home. We're gonna have. I know for the regular season they're allowing 85% capacity, so that's roughly around 25,000. I'm not sure about what it's gonna be for Thursday. I guess it's gonna be sold out, whatever, maybe 20,000 or so. So
they're a noisy bunch, aren't they?
they're very noisy, very noisy. I think that they're gonna the players feed off of that. So I think it's gonna be a different game. I don't think Bohemians can open up as much as they did at home in that first, where they caught us off guard, kind of. They're gonna have to sit back and just hope that we don't get that goal in the first. I think it's gonna come down again to the first 25 minutes or so. If we come out and score a goal early, a couple years ago we played Lokomotiva team in the Europa League. We lost 2-1 at home. Sorry, on the road the first leg. Second leg we won 5-1. 4-0. So it could, hopefully for us it works out like that. I think it's possible. And regarding what you said about Lucescu too, we had a club legend at the helm last year, Pablo Garcia, who replaced Ferreira as the coach, and he won us the cup. A lot of people wanted him to stay on at the end of the season. We brought back Lucescu, and if we lose this tie, there's going to be a lot of heat on him. Now, I know a lot of media and PAOK fans on Twitter were saying that Bohemians is a farmers club, a small club. And I know I posted this on Twitter too. You know the game of football. Anyone could beat anyone on any given day. It's about whatever team shows up and with the most heart, with the most passion, intensity, that's a team that's going to win. So I'm not discrediting anything Bohemians did. I think, though, that if we just play our game, we'll come out and we'll be fine.
That is a concern for Bohemians, isn't it? It could be 20,000, let's say, PAOK fans in there, and they're very passionate, they're very noisy, they have a reputation, if you like, as well. Factor in the heat, factor in the PAOK will be bitterly disappointed with losing the first leg. There's a little concern that Bohs could lose potentially this 4 or 5 on the night as well, and that's the concern. They want to avoid that, even if they get knocked out. If they can avoid that and at least put up a display in PAOK, it'd be fantastic for Bohemians and Irish football, of course.
Absolutely. I think for Bohs ourselves, like the biggest thing we have going for us is we have a lead going into this. Something that nobody expected. Anyone that was looking at this game thoroughly expected PAOK to be winning this comfortably 3 or 4-0 easily. Like they should have, really. And like Angelo said, the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes, look, it was all PAOK, and it's gone kind of untalked about because of the result that we went. It has gone under the radar a little bit, and even looking at the goal that PAOK scored, Oliveira shouldn't really have got in and got that goal. The cross should have been closed down. There was also a player beside Oliveira at the back post that should have been marked. These are all basic mistakes that we made that really shouldn't have happened. They shouldn't have switched off and let that in, because that goal is so vital now to PAOK going into it. They're looking at this going as one goal in this. And look, if this had been last season, it'd be a draw because it'd be an away goal. But, focusing back in this season, everything is against us going into this bad result. We have a lead going into this, and it's something that we need to hold on for our lives to have. Against PAOK, we put bodies in the line. We cleared an awful lot of balls. Every player out there came back and defended for their life, and we got the result. We got the end result that we needed. But I was at the league game the weekend. The league's completely different, obviously, the international football. Heads are probably turned. Players afraid to get injured and what have you. But if they play like that against PAOK now on Thursday, we would get turned over. It's 30-odd degree heat there at night time. There's going to be an intimidating atmosphere there. 20,000 fans, and we've all seen the videos of what it's like. So it remains to be seen what it's going to be like. I do think it will boil out to the first 20 minutes. We need to play from the off, and we need to be playing like it's 0-0 and that we need to score. We can't be sitting back and just defending. We need to go up PAOK, and we need to try and get a goal and try and keep the ball in their side of the field. It's no good in having it in our side and playing around the backs. That's no good unless we're winding down the clock. But I think we need to attack from the off and play exactly how we played in the Aviva, if it's any way at all possible. It will be a completely different game in the sense of I don't think the pressing will be as good from either team because the conditions will be so hot. I think it'll be an awful lot more hard to press. But I also think, back when I was in Dublin, it still was 20 odd degree. So, it wasn't like it was just extremely cold through the year, which of another time could have been. Not saying I can't compare conditions because obviously it's going to be so much hotter, but it's going to be a completely different game. It's going to be a very exciting game. But look, I'm not going to go against my own team and say PAOK are going to win, but it's going to be an extremely interesting tie anyway for everyone involved.
Angelo, what changes would you make on Thursday? Do you think mistakes were made in selection in the first leg from PAOK's point of view?
Yeah, so we played with players that I guess you want to say can keep possession, maybe that are a little slower, a little past their prime. We had Kagawa who started last year. He only showed up and maybe he only played in a handful of games for us, and even then it wasn't anything special. And I was watching the Irish feed through the TV online, the League of Ireland, the TV, and they were even saying that someone like Verinia, our left back, right, he was getting exposed up and down that wing, and I would take out Kagawa. I will move El Kaduri in the center. Then I'd start Solis, our 19-year-old, who's going to be in Norwich after that game, most likely. I'd start him left wing up top. Obviously, you have Oliveira starting. I would take out Vieirinha, maybe bring him on in the second half if we need a goal. And the fact is, you could even move him up to the wing, to one of the forward positions, because we have Lucas Taylor, who we just got at right back, who could stay at right back. We have Rodrigo, who I thought played pretty well for us at right back. We can move him to left back. I'm not a fan of the keeper they played, Paskalakis. He's the type of goalkeeper who will make the spectacular saves, but he will make many simple mistakes. And that second goal, and I know I played keeper in college, and sometimes the shots from far away, when you're a little blinded by numbers and it's moving, it's tough. But that's a goal you can't give up if you wanna make group stages of any European competition. And he's just so nervy when he's trying to catch the ball and cross it. So I would put in Zivkovic in goal. But that's pretty much it. So I would take out Kagawa. I'd bring in Solis. And then I'd take out Vieirinha, and I'd bring in Lucas Taylor in the goalkeeping situation. But we also got rid of Amir Warda, who's an attacking player, former Egyptian international. There's a lot of issues with him and our coach in terms of a lot of disagreements, and he's the type of player who he'll have hot days, he'll have cold days, but the days where he's on, he could be the most skilled player in the Super League. So unfortunately, it looks like we're going to be getting rid of him. He's not with the club anymore. But if we had Solis in, we had him, and then Andrea Zivkovic, the Serbian international, he didn't have a good game either. I feel like there was a lot of players that didn't have good games that if they just show up and play to their potential, it'll be a different fixture.
Daz, if Bohemians are to get through, what do they have to do in your opinion?
Like just what Angelo said there, if their players had showed up, it could have been a completely different game the last one, but they didn't show up in that game. We did. That was the difference, and that's what got us over the line. But there's absolutely nothing to say that the power players that he mentioned will show up this game and could turn us over. I don't want to be saying that. I don't want to be throwing my team under the bus. I'm so proud of where they come from this season and the players that we brought in and how they played. I'm so proud of it. And tonight I'll always remember being in that BB Stadium, watching that, coming back to games and, in the pandemic and coming back to see this, and you've seen the players PAOK had on display. We were all watching them in awe, thinking, look at these players that we're playing against, that we bet, that we kept out, that we turned over, that we outplayed. And I think if the team can outplay them once, they can outplay them again. They do it even better. And they have experience now of playing against them. They'll know what to expect. They'll know if they get stuck in and frighten PAOK again and get in on them, that tie is there for us to be won. It's there for us, and the players need to know this, and they need to, really take that on board, that it's there for us. It would be completely different if PAOK was the ones winning 2-1. You'd be thinking, we're probably going to go out.
The tie be over completely, yeah.
The tie be over. But the fact that we're actually in the lead, I think is outstanding. By Keith Long, Trevor Crawley, Chris Benny, and the whole team, everyone, it's outstanding that we're winning this tie. And you can say the players didn't show up all you want, but at the end of the day, we were the ones that showed up. We were the ones that wanted it more, and we were the ones that were there and put 2 goals past PAOK and won that game. I think if Bohs can manage to somehow pull off another miracle and play like they have played in the Aviva Stadium, somehow do it, I think we'll get through. I think they need to remember too that a 0-0, as much as they don't like saying we're playing for 0-0, get us through. If we just get a draw out of this, we get through. If it's 1-1, we get through. Like, as soon as the clock kicks off, 1 minute to go, we're 1 minute closer to getting out of this tie and getting through to the next round. It's going to be such a mammoth of a task for a number of different reasons. There's going to be a whole lot of collective reasons as to why it's going to be so hard. But at the end of the day, we're the ones in the lead. We're the ones with a goal advantage, and it's for us to be lost. PAOK are going to be the ones that has to come out on top. They're going to be the ones that want to score first. And I think they're probably going to be the ones that's the most nervous because their fans are going to be there. The stadium's going to be full. The manager's got pressure on his head. The play on the team, PAOK have millions that they spend every season. We spend under $1 million every season, a lot less than $1 million actually. When you put that together, it just shows what an outstanding result it's been for Bohs, and it just shows what kick and teeth it's been for PAOK fans that didn't turn Bohs over. But it just shows you can't disrespect any team and that anything can happen in football. And look, there's nothing to say that Bohs won't come out and win this tie 2-0 either. It's absolutely possible. If we bet them once, we could beat them again. And I'm fully confident and sure that we'll get through this tie. And I have sincere belief in all the players. And I'm so proud of them getting through this far.
Angelo, how do you see the second leg?
I think it's going to be... I think it'll be 1-0 at half in favor of PAOK. Obviously, that's not good enough to do it. We'll need to score another one. I could see us ending up with a 4-1 kind of game. And I know you said, Daz, I think you said that you don't think that you should press as much. Is that correct? Or you said that both teams won't press as much? I think that's something you're going to have to do because if you sit back and invite pressure, you know how football is. There's going to be 1 or 2 goals based off of just bad luck, right? A misclearance from a defender, an error by the goalkeeper. I think that if Bohemians comes out and plays not scared, takes it to PAOK, think what happens if they get the first goal, right? Then we're going to need 2 goals. And then maybe after the first goal, you could sit back. But I think that it's going to be a game, if Bohemians does come out, park the bus, sit back, I could see us opening up a 4-1, 5-1, 4-0 kind of game. Now, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen because, like you said, there's a lot of things at play. And our players are used to playing in bigger games, right? Our players are maybe overlooking again. I don't think that's going to happen, but anything could happen. Right, I'm not trying to discount.
Yeah, but you're playing the big club here. It doesn't get much bigger than playing against Bohemian.
Now let me ask you a question, guys.
Angelo, I'll just throw it in. They call themselves the big club in Ireland, so that's
we are the big club.
Daz, let me ask you a question. Why didn't Bohemians try to score at the end of the game? They had a couple free kick opportunities where they kind of tried to waste the clock instead of trying to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like if we're winning 2-1 against PAOK, against any team, and it's knockout, I'm going to waste as much time as I can. I'm going to go down a hole in my calf. I'm going to be looking for the air ambulance come on the pitch. I'm going to be doing what I can to wind down the clock and get the win. Absolutely.
You had a free kick in the 93rd minute there's 4 extra minutes, so there was only 1 minute left. Free kick in a beautiful position, maybe 22, 23 yards out on the right side, right?
I remember they took it short to Georgie Kelly, actually.
Why not at least try to score directly from there? If you don't score, it goes over. By the time the goalie gets the ball, puts it in. I mean, because your ball boys were doing a great job at time wasting themselves.
We won.
You did win. But I think if you got another goal there, that would have been totally different.
Yeah, but you could have got the ball, counter-attacked and scored.
Perhaps.
It's ifs and buts for candy and nuts, but we won at the end of the day.
Right.
So, Daz, what are you saying? Full-time score. Go for it.
I'm saying 1-0 Bohs and we get through and we're jolly onto the Aviva again in 2 weeks' time.
Angelo, what are you saying?
I'll go 3-1 PAOK.
3-1. Well, look, guys, I can't wait for it. And fair play to the 2 of you for coming on. I really enjoyed that. So, well done, guys. Thanks.
Anything for having me. Good luck.